Well, take a few moments and guess where I am at today. There's a building behind us that I think we're going to go in and check out. Then again, they got together and planned some places that they wanted to go to, so I guess I'm just kind of tagging along on this journey. Listen, if you like our podcast, please do me a favor, subscribe, comment, hit the bell, and share, and we would appreciate it so much. So let's get on to today and see what they have planned for me today. First stop today is North Carolina Museum of History.
Here we are entering the North Carolina Museum of History, which we did get into free. The only caveat that I would add is there is no parking that we found except on the street, and there was a fee and a time limit of 2 hours per vehicle. There was a lot of exhibits to see, and we're no way going to be able to show you all of it. One note that we do have is it's very dark inside the museum, and of course it's crowded because it's free, and rightfully so. People tend to bring their children, and I'm sure school groups come as well. So it's very hard to tape inside here. There were a lot of noises, there were a lot of audio displays, so it was very hard to capture things. As you noticed in the beginning, one of the beginning displays was establishing settlements. It went into how the state of North Carolina was formed. One little note I wanted to add there was a display about Blackbeard the pirate, and we found it fascinating that the gentleman that is accredited to killing him is a Lieutenant Robert Maynard of the Royal Navy. And those of you that know me know that my maiden name is Maynard, so my sister Beth and I were so fascinated to see that. There were also exhibits of Native American art, also a wigwam that you could go into. Also the various countries, the immigrants that came to our state and made it what it is, which also led into the American Revolution. And we would be remiss if we didn't mention how slavery and the Civil War left its mark on the state of North Carolina. Then it goes into how North Carolina citizens really impacted our state, our nation, and the world through its ingenuity, the processes, the inventions that came forth from the state of North Carolina, especially in the area of textiles, transportation, farm implementation, and just consumer goods. Here there was a display of a textile mill and how just the looms and how fabric was made and how it shaped our country, and just mass production of clothing and textiles. This display just goes through anything that you can imagine, from just machinery to vehicles to even universities, farm implementation that actually found its origins in the state of North Carolina. It made us proud, but it was also fascinating to see how many things were actually found its roots in North Carolina. Here's some of the modern machines, and again, we're talking about farm implementation, and Pepsi Cola. Of course, we're not Pepsi fans, but how it did find its roots here. Then we go on to the famous display of Orville and Wilbur Wright, and how flight, found its roots in North Carolina, and how much we owe to them for our modern day airplane travel. Also, we have to give a plug for NASCAR. so much of our industry here, it revolves around NASCAR. One of its headquarters is actually located in Charlotte, North Carolina. And anybody that knows NASCAR knows number 3, Dale Earnhardt. And also Richard Petty is from North Carolina, and NASCAR owes a lot to him as well. Rodney and Alan went into the sports exhibit, and there was a lot of jerseys and trophies and flags related to the talented athletes from North Carolina, and there was displays from the Basketball Hall of Fame for North Carolina. And we're coming up on some of those jerseys, as you can see, and those that wore them. And here's the 3 big ones. You have Duke, North Carolina State, UNC. This was a very nice exhibit. A lot to look at. Really too much to put into this video. Next, you're going to see Answering the Call. This was the last exhibit we viewed, and it was dedicated to the heroes and heroines of our state that answered their nation's call. Various wars and battles that the United States were involved in. Do want to give you a warning, there are some loud sounds inside this exhibit, so you want to caution you if you go in there with young children. Lots of uniforms, articles of war, weaponry. Very fascinating to look at, but it's very troubling as well, but yet it is part of our history. There is a machine gun turret, and it actually would, you could hear the gunfire come out of there. Obviously they were blanks, but it was still startling. It caught you off guard. But a lot of North Carolina's men and women fought in these battles, and it does make you proud. And Rodney and I honor all of those who have served our country. Also coming up is a flag that flew over a battleship, and I ask you to pause, read the placard under that. It's so beautiful. Makes you proud to be an American. Here we are outside North Carolina's state capitol, and we're looking at a monument of the 3 men who became President of the United States, and their names are James Polk, Andrew Jackson, and Andrew Johnson. It is disputed that Andrew Jackson was actually born in North Carolina. He was born on the border of North and South Carolina, but he looked at himself as a South Carolinian. So historically, we're not sure exactly where he was born, but the monuments do honor all 3 men. There's other monuments available on the property. It would take you a good hour to view all.
Here we got our grills going, and we will definitely have a fire later on tonight. Just love our view, but we're roughing it today. We're sitting here watching some TV. I made sure that food was prepared for us, and they've already started eating before I even get over there because I've been working so hard on this. Let me show you what we've got tonight. Well, here they are. As I told you, I had prepared this. They're already eating before I could even sit down. Who wants to tell everybody what we got?
We have grilled chicken, potatoes, and corn on the cob.
And what we have for dessert again?
Leftovers. Apple pie and ice cream, and s'more cones in the fire.
Okay, it's something Al likes. He likes a lot of chocolate in his house. So we're going to sit down and eat this, and we'll sit around the fire here after a while, and we'll let you know what we think about our whole camping trip.
Hey guys, we hope you enjoyed this episode of our trip to Jordan Lake. We've had a great time. We're relaxing by the fire. This is our last evening, and we've really enjoyed ourselves today.
Well, so we've been here since Friday,
Evening.
and we didn't tape Friday coming in, and then we didn't do a lot of taping Saturday.
We didn't do a lot of taping either yesterday evening. We had a thunderstorm that came through.
Oh, we did tape a little bit because we went down to Duke.
Yes, but not in the evening like we normally do. This is the first time we've been able to have a fire. It really rained hard.
Well, I closed out the last program. Let's go back and talk about the pizza place. Let's talk about Duke, where we went there and visited, what y'all thought about that. Then we'll talk about what we did today.
The pizza place was Johnny's. That was in Apex. It was really good food. It's a little spicy, the pizza sauce. But you could get pizza by the slice. Nice variety of things on the menu. It was good. I'd probably give it a good 7. Probably, yeah. 7 out.
No, we'd probably go back if we were close by and grab some more. Then they conspired against me and took me over to Duke. You know, me as a Kentucky fan, it's kind of hard.
Campus.
It is.
I have
It
to
is.
say it was gorgeous.
It's a pretty campus. We went into the
chapel.
I call it a sanctuary, but we went into the chapel.
Yeah, and it was almost breathtaking. The architecture, yes, on the stained glass.
Pretty historical.
Yes, yeah. So we did enjoy that. It was a beautiful day.
What did y'all think about it, Beth? Now?
It was nice. It was. I'd never been to the Duke University, so it was very pretty. And even in the sanctuary downstairs, upstairs they had kind of a mausoleum for a few of the person who started it, Washington Duke, and the two sons. Yes.
Dads and 2 sons.
So that was pretty interesting, but it was gorgeous, and it was a beautiful day until yesterday evening, and it, thunderstorm. But it was I was very impressed.
Then there was more of the family buried downstairs.
Right.
And some
and
of the chancellors.
Yeah. Yes.
There was many people that were associated with
I
Duke.
think Washington.
Well,
Yes.
Yeah.
I know it was hard for me to go, but it was a nice place to look at. But for Al, it was hard for him to go because he's a Tar Heel fan.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so he had to bite the bullet just like I did.
But it is beautiful, and people, if they have an opportunity, and it was the West Campus where the
Yes,
the chapel.
is on the West Campus. The ball fields, the Cameron Stadium.
Well, we did go. Me and Al got out and went and took some photos of Cameron.
Okay.
And we couldn't get in, but the girls said that they thought the security was called on us.
Yeah, well, there was a baseball game.
Baseball game.
Yeah, so it was.
So I played it up a little bit when I said this is part of me being a Kentucky fan. They called security.
Yeah.
So I played it up a little bit. Is that what you're saying?
I think you overreacted just a little.
They were probably called on me more than you.
Oh, okay.
Because you were trying to
But
get
we
in.
did.
No,
we did get
retarded.
blessed that Jordan and Ashley got to come.
Yeah.
So
that
that
was
was
fun.
that was a blessing. So you've met both of our kids and plus one of Beth and Allen's So
Yeah,
that
the
was,
other one.
we'll have to get the other one to at least stop by and visit us some so we can get them on tape. They are watching the program.
Yeah.
So that is awesome. I'm glad they're, give a shout out to your grandkids because they've been watching.
Oh my gosh, my little loves. Kaysen, you get her started.
Yeah.
Kaysen, Luke, Sawyer, and Ellie. And then we have Lorelai and Levi as well.
So they've been watching the podcast, the podcast. So
Videocast, my little loves.
we're glad they're watching. Okay, let's. That's a little bit of the last episode that you watched. We really didn't get to talk about it. Let's talk about today. So explain to where we went to today. We went down to Durham, Raleigh.
Yeah,
It was
downtown Raleigh.
the North Carolina History Museum.
Yes.
And it is free, which was amazing. And parking, it was 2-hour sections. You couldn't renew. So
They need to change that.
yeah, and I'm not sure why there were probably public lots somewhere.
Right.
But we couldn't find them. But you really could go through that museum in 2 hours. But if you're planning on going to the museums and then going to get something to eat, you have to move your vehicle. And
And then the museum was across.
there was a
natural science.
natural science museum
So
directly
you would
across.
need more than 2
Yeah.
hours.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm sure there's a parking lot.
Yeah.
somewhere.
to really take your time, you need to come here. You could come here and stay a couple days and go back down and watch some
with the
stuff.
Capitol.
Easy.
And then they had, what was that called when we were looking at the houses? Capitol.
The executive
Trail.
mansion.
The trail.
Oh, the
Capital City Trail, I
yes.
believe, and it listed like
Historic
38
homes.
historic homes that told you
That was
very
nice.
interesting.
And we did get to see our state
The executive mansion and the lieutenant governor.
Yes.
lieutenant governor was outside today.
Yes.
Yes, it
They were
was.
on the porch with some people talking, so that was pretty cool.
Yeah. Then we were able to. Alan moved the truck when we went to a restaurant called Gravy.
Which was recommended by
The front desk person at the museum. It's an Italian American cuisine. I would highly recommend it. Google gave it. It was 4.4 stars. They did have a 92.
Yes.
Gravy.
Gravy.
92%
Sanitation.
but everything looked clean.
Yeah, and you don't know what of course, you do need to go by that a little bit, but we had kind of already committed, but the food was delicious. And then we walked to Captain Cookie
And the milkman.
and the Milkman.
And it was the people were nice. The girl was nice.
Yes. So it's homemade cookies, sandwiching ice cream of your choice.
A homemade creamery. Actually.
Yeah, so
a
it's
local
local
creamery.
ice cream. About $7.
A little pricey, but it was good.
Pricey. It was good.
So we would recommend to go there. I wish they'd come down the price a little bit, but it was really the food was good.
Yes.
And then we came back here, and I cooked very hard, like always.
Like always.
No, we had food here. Al does a lot of the cooking when we're out, but we ate here and enjoyed that. Then you all had leftover pie from yesterday
Yes.
and ice cream. Then you explain, either one of you explained about the
The sugar cones.
yes.
We just stuffed them with marshmallows and chocolate chips. You can put whatever you want to. I've seen people put Reese cups. You can put caramel. And we wrapped them in nonstick foil and placed them over the grill. And you can just scoop that out like a s'more, or you can put ice cream on it. It's really good.
It was good. Very good.
Well, let's
Not
talk.
as many calories because the sugar cones, I think, about 60 calories, so you're not getting a whole lot of.
We had that last night too,
Yeah.
right? Was it last night we had?
No.
Saturday night.
Well, that was, what is it today? Monday. That is right. We did have Sunday. Because it rained last night, so we couldn't do anything. It poured to rain here.
Apple pie.
I mean, Al, we cleaned our campers before we left, and they are dirty again. Just because of the rain. Okay, let's talk about Jordan Lake.
We've not really got to see much of the lake.
Well, I took them down
right out. I mean, I would like this parking spot again
Oh, I would like it too.
because you can walk down right behind where Teresa is. There's a trail and it goes down to the water. But what do you think about
Well,
our
there's
campsite?
3 loops here. The A loop is strictly tent camping, so no RVs there. And then we're in B. So B and C have places for RVs. I think B might be a little bit bigger, so you have a little more room for it. And we're in the dual spot here as well, so I think you got a little more room for campers on this loop instead of C. But C also you can have RVs on that.
Very quiet.
Very
Oh,
quiet.
extremely
I
quiet.
mean, we're here tonight's Monday night because we're not going back to tomorrow night, and there's nobody around us hardly,
All you hear is frogs.
which is pretty cool. Is this somewhere where we'd come back again?
Absolutely.
Yes. Yeah, even the staff, what little we've seen,
Right.
have been super friendly.
Mm-hmm.
I would definitely recommend this.
Mm.
And we actually may come back later in the summer.
What rating would you give this place?
It's really hard to say.
Oh, no, we've not been into the bathrooms. They do
No.
have bathrooms and showers here and all of that.
I don't. There's a few things that I didn't care for, and I think this is with all state parks. They need to the picnic table situation. I get the aesthetics wanting to have the wood, but they just warp and they're rugged and can tear at your clothes. They're just not my favorite. The sites were pretty level, wouldn't you say?
Oh, yeah.
I think so.
Sites are level, sites are big. I mean, you
Yes.
got,
Very much room between the
Yeah.
next campsite.
And I would recommend the dual sites if you got somebody coming with you,
Absolutely.
if you like them.
But you know, another idea, yeah. And some people that we've seen do bring a boat.
Mhm.
So you have room for your boat if you're going to,
Yeah.
to be boating. So I would definitely recommend. We're latecomers to camping at state parks, and we have so enjoyed the late checkout. I think that's been the most favorite.
Because you don't have to get up, and we're kind of close to home. So we can leave here at 3 o'clock and still be home at 5 o'clock.
Yeah.
And enough time to unpack and get things taken care of
Yeah.
for the next day. So we would recommend this, but there is other campgrounds around.
Yeah.
This one is called
Crosswinds. Yeah.
Crosswinds, which is nice, but there's some other ones around that we might check out too, and come back to visit. So anything else y'all want to share?
We've had a good time. You're so sad the night before, you have to leave. It's the packing up is so not fun. But we know we've got the summer ahead of us and the fall, and we're looking forward to some adventures.
Okay, you two got anything else you want to say?
No, I think that's good. It'll definitely be a place we want to come back.
Okay, babe, close this out. Tell them what to do if they like our videos.
We would like for you to subscribe, hit the bell so you know when be notified when new videos have been put up, and we would like for you to watch us on your laptop if possible, or your phone, so that you can give us a thumbs up.
And if they're not watching it, they can go over and just click on it.
Yeah.
And we have broke 500
Yes,
subscribers.
and we appreciate everybody for that. And when we get to 1,000, we're going to do a giveaway.
And
So share the news about our video with your friends and family, and we look forward to seeing you guys in the future.
also, we're on Rumble. We're over 200 on that, so that's pretty cool too. So, but we appreciate you, and we will see you next time because we're on our way.
Bye-bye.